Ryan. So tell us, why did you start Stratics?
Well, I didn't really set out to start a network. I actually was a big fan of a game called Ultima Online. It was coming out from Richard Garriott. I was a huge fan of the Ultima series,
Mm-hmm.
just from when I was a little kid playing on crappy PCs. We went back when I was on Prodigy BBS. But anyways, I loved Ultima 7 and I loved Diablo, which was four-player online. And I saw, I kept reading about Ultima Online and I was fascinated by the idea of thousands of players playing at once in a world, and it's like at that point, it was limited to four people kind of crawling through a dungeon, and it was, it was a great time. So I just thought it would be exponentially better, and the fact that I was already a fan of the subject matter and the Ultimate series made it even better. So I went out and sought information. I used to hang out on the Wizards chat zone and just hang out with people, and at one point, I needed to pick a nickname because I was no longer going to be lurking. I was going to post. And so I found out about a little thing called the UDIC, which is the Ultimate Dragons Internet chapter, and I decided that I was going to become a dragon too. And so I picked the name Den because I love the word, and when I was a kid I used to lay out graph paper and create worlds, and every map that I made for every world that I created, I had a little place called Den. It was usually an island or a cave. But anyways, I really liked the word, simple and short. And so I chose that, and I became Den Dragon, and I started up a site called Ultima Online's Strategy and Statistics, UOSS, and eventually Strategy and Statistics became a portmanteau. How do you say that?
Portmanteau.
Portmanteau. Portmanteau. Stratics. So, anyways, I wanted to find stats for a weapon and kind of lost my train of thought, etc. For the scimitars for my character Raven's Blood, and I found out that it was really shitty. So let's move on to the next question.
Okay, well, how do you feel about Stratics being around for as long as it has now, coming up 16 years?
Well, it's pretty cool, man. Part of there's a lot of regrets. I feel like I could have done some things better. But overall, the fact that there's such a great community of like-minded individuals that have come together to formulate a response to something that they're passionate about. And what I mean by that is that they're basically taking on a piece of art or a creative element, which is the game that they're into, and they're building on it. And that's the cool thing about online video games, and massively multiplayer in particular, is that the communities are ongoing and they're ever growing, hopefully. But some of the funnest parts about participating in MMO are the communities that build up around the titles. And when you're at work or when you can't play, you can often at times have a lot more fun just participating with other people that love the same game that you do. And for me personally, sometimes I had more fun out of the game than I did in the game, and that was the primary responsibility, and is the primary responsibility, I believe, of Stratics. We provide content and an extension of the gameplay experience, and when Stratics is fortunate, you can work with the developers hand in hand to help formulate and express their vision even further beyond the confines of the title itself. So I think I might answer the question.
And how do you feel about Stratics and where it's at now?
I think there's an opportunity now to not become what Stratics was when it was at its peak in terms of traffic, but to really truly get back to the root of what its intent was, which was that purity of enjoyment. And what I mean by enjoyment is that people are motivated and made better by a joy in things, or particular things that they might like. I'm kind of rambling, but my point is that when somebody feels passionate about something, I know that word is tossed around a lot and it becomes kind of inconsequential because of it. When somebody's passionate about something, they can pour themselves into it. It opens up a conduit. They have an opportunity to take whatever energy and time, resources that they have, and they can pour all that into this funnel, which is their passion, and they can make something. And I think that the fact that Stratics is around now, 16 years later, which by the way is my favorite number, which is cool, my birthday's on the 16th. Anyways, I think it's a really great, auspicious anniversary just for the simple fact that it's brought about a full circle. That right now where Stratics is, there's an opportunity to be what it was when it was at its purest form. And I think that if people kind of just knuckle down and really contribute and not pay attention to what other people might be doing, I'm rambling again.
It's alright, go on.
Um,
You're doing great.
I think that right now there's an unprecedented opportunity to utilize the tools that are readily available, which don't require in-house development or resources to be expended. That you can actually, right now, accomplish the goal of creating community resources, strategy guides, statistics, information that surround these particular titles, and make it a comprehensive, technologically adequate, at least, if not just cutting edge, really. Because I mean, the tools that are available right now to create these resources are unprecedented. I mean, back when we were trying to do this thing, it was very, very difficult because we would have to commit resources. A lot of times we didn't have those resources to compete against entities that were out there, our competition, that had a lot more than we did in terms of that. They were able to build systems for information display and categorization and indexing and searching, et cetera, tie their forums and their user accounts and all this stuff. Basically, all of that is now available for free. There's turnkey solutions out there that you can do. We do have a lot of legacy stuff on Stratics, which obviously would have to be maintained, and that can be the most difficult part. But I think that right now there's an opportunity for people to return to the purity of what Stratics was intended to be, and that is to give people the opportunity to create something unique and solitary, which is also related specifically to something that's already been created. So therefore you kind of create like this tumbling forward, momentum-based snowball of cool shit. That's about it.
That was great.